I don't normally film stuff like this. Because when you watch a homesteading channel, what do you want to see? You want to see land getting cleared and baby animals being born and some kind of off-grid-y thing happening. Almost feel like I should be the professor from Gilligan's Island where, you know, hey look, we made this helicopter out of coconuts and bamboo. But in reality, homesteading's a lot different than that. We try to give you the interesting things, content-wise. But more often than not, this is the reality of it. This is my 1993 E-Z-Go gas 2-cycle golf cart. This has been the focus of many of our videos because this thing does everything for us. We bought it in 2021 when supply chain things were going nuts and I paid way too much money for it. I won't tell you how much because it's kind of embarrassing. It worked for about 3 months and broke. And then we paid a ridiculous amount of money to have it fixed. And it was such a ridiculous amount of money that it came with the parts cart back there. Since owning it for 2 years, I have replaced the wheel bearing in the front, the carburetor 3 times, a battery, air filter. We've pulled the motor out of that other one to replace the bearings and pistons in this one. I just replaced the fuel pump in it, and on my way with the ever lovely Mrs. Flannel to go check our mail at the end of our driveway, we discovered this.
Do you see that gap right there?
That's a busted wheel bearing. You're not supposed to be able to do that with the front tire. Why is this like real homesteading? Because I'm out here in my safari shorts. I had just poured my afternoon cup of coffee and we were going to sit on the porch and enjoy the fact that it's like 80 degrees and overcast today. Instead, we're going to be trying to take the wheel bearing out of our donor cart back there and hoping that it fits this cart, and that's just the way it is. Now for those of you wondering why we haven't just purchased a new cart or a newer cart, because I am so vested in this one financially and with time that I can't bring myself not to fix it. And in reality, when you're trying to live this sort of lifestyle, unless you start it wealthy, you kind of need to do whatever you need to do to make it work. Which seems to be the case with most things these days, actually. I had a gentleman ask me earlier today why everybody wore their hats backwards. This was a sign of gang culture. And I'll tell you, the same thing I told him. It's a very good reason as to why I wear my hat backwards. It has nothing to do with reliving my days in high school. I'm trying to be cool. And it especially has nothing to do with gang culture. But when I film, I don't have any lights. I film outside. So I don't have background lighting, I don't have stage lighting. It's just you and me and the camera. And if I do this, all this gets dark. And that doesn't make any sense. So if I turn my hat around, you can see my delightful face. That's the only reason. This is the cotter pin that holds the axle bolt on. So if it comes out on this side, that means it goes in over here. Cotter pin out, which we'll save because I'm probably going to reuse it. And there, my friends, is one good wheel bearing. Now the question will be, does that fit on our golf cart? Let's go find out. Remember how the other one was all nice and full of grease? This one's full of like putty. Unfortunately, it is the back bearing, which we did not take off the other side. So you see this bearing? That's what it looks like when there's none of these. It came off nice and easy. And do you know what I think? Those look like they're the same size. Obviously that opening is smaller, but that's because it has the bearing in it. So instead of trying to cram a new bearing in there, I think we're just going to put this one on, if she'll fit. Well, looky there. Don't be scared. Come out and show the people. Let's see if she wobbles. See if she runs. Woo. Oh, steering is tight. So what's the moral of the story today? Yeah! No creaky, wobbly, shaky deafness. The moral of the story is it is now 3:12 and the golf cart's fixed. And it worked. But homesteading is a lot like having small children that you have to care for. I'm talking like infants. When they're hungry, they need to be fed. When they're tired, you need to put them to bed. And when their diapers need to change, you need to change your diapers. They are completely dependent on you, and whether you feel like it or not, sometimes you just have to take care of things. That's like homesteading. The golf cart doesn't care what time it is, how many showers I've had today, or that I was planning on sitting on the porch with Mrs. Flannel enjoying a cup of coffee. It just breaks and you have to fix it. So it's extremely rewarding. I'm not being down on homesteading, quite the opposite. In fact, I love some of these things when they pop up because it gives me something to fix. But they can derail the plans that you had. Anyways, I'm gonna go drive my golf cart now because it's not broken. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please hit that like button. We'll see you next time here at Flannel Farms. Thanks for joining us. Bye.